Hi, it's Leslie Zemeckis. Welcome back to Write for Success. My author this week is another bestseller. I love authors who create a heavy atmosphere of place, especially Los Angeles. Writers like James Ellroy, James Cain, Eve Babbitt, Joan Didion. Today's author paints LA in all its dark complexities with its Santa Ana winds blowing, shadowy neighborhoods. There's a restlessness that permeates the page. This multi-award winning author's fourth and current bestseller is These Women, and I loved it. The Wall Street Journal says about the book, flawless, razor sharp. Entertainment Weekly says that the city that Pochoda conjures is artful, unmissable detail on nearly every page, a place as textured and immediate as any breathing, sentient character. Here is Ivy Pochoda with her writing tips, and this video in particular is a delight. You'll see. See you next week.
Hi, I'm Ivy Pochoda, and these are my 3 tips for writing. Number 1, dialogue. Use dialogue sparingly. Dialogue often stops the narrative in its tracks and demands the reader sit up and pay attention. Dialogue draws the reader closer to the story, so make sure that when you have someone saying something, it's important. It shouldn't simply pass the time, or it should drive the narrative forward. So make sure when you put something in dialogue, it serves an important purpose in moving the plot along. Two. Jumping forward in time. Imagine you have a story set over 4 years in college. Not everything that's going to happen in the course of those 4 years is important. We don't need to see every spring break, every fall break, every semester. Don't be afraid to allow your story to jump a week, a day, a month, a week, a year forward if nothing essential is happening. It's okay to make these leaps to keep the plot moving, and in fact, it's really important that you don't give us all the boring details. 3. Think about where your characters were before your book started and where they wind up after it ends. This will allow you to understand them more fully in the present of the narrative. Characters don't cease to exist on the last page, they move on from there. So make sure that when you conclude your narrative, it has some sense of momentum into a new realm for the people you're writing about. And when you meet someone at the start of the book, they didn't just appear at that page out of nowhere, they existed before the story began. So try to think a little bit about how these people were before you managed to conjure them. Knowing where people were before and after the action of the book allows you to enrich the space in which we meet these characters in your story. Thanks so much for listening. I'm Ivy Pochoda, and those are my dogs.